Hello and welcome to the TFT News. On today's show, we discuss pro signings and some of the top players from several regions. Lead dev Mortdog discusses Urgot and some upcoming game mechanics. Top statistics, what's the strongest comp on the patch so far? And we get an update on ranked rewards and TFT celebrates its first birthday. First up, news from the esports world. TFT player Polt has recently taken a signing with NA organisation Team Liquid. Polt is currently one of the top 5 players in NA. He's quickly becoming one of the fan favourites for his in-depth game knowledge. I think it's a great pickup for Team Liquid and Polt. So the ranked season has been live for a few weeks now, and we're starting to see players from each region emerge as a top in their areas. Now, learning from these players is exceptionally useful, so we take a look at some of the rank 1 players for a few regions. In EU West, we have Ryko Mastery. Ryko Mastery currently plays a split between Rebels and Cybers mostly, with a win rate of 21% and a 60% top 4, currently sat at 1,317 LP. Now, he does stream over on Twitch, so I'll leave the link to that in the description below. So across the pond we have C9 Shoju. Now Shoju currently is sitting at a 21% win rate with a 63% top 4 rate. He plays comps ranging from blasters to sorks. Now Shoju has recently posted his top comp list for 1013 on Reddit with additional comments for each comp. It is worth a read. I'll leave a link in the description down below. Now I know Shoju also streams over on Twitch, and I'll leave that down below there as well. Over on the Japan server, we have Holicism. Now, Holicism is a cyber one-trick player, currently boasting a 21% win rate and a 58% top 4 rate. He recently posted an AMA on Reddit going over some of the more popular questions for cyber players. And if you're wanting to know how to jump into cybers and learning from one of the better players in the world, it is worth a read, and I'll leave the link in the description down below. So the global TFT leader currently is a player called Jinji on the Turkey server, currently posting at 1633 LP and a very impressive 37% win rate and a 77% top 4 rate. Looking through recent history, looks like he plays some of the standard meta comps, mostly Cybers and Sorks. I don't know if he has a Twitch. If he does, let me know and I'll add it on to the description below. So one of the more complained about mechanics in TFT is the death mechanic. More specifically, the order in which you die if you lose on the same round as another player. Now, the problem with that at the minute is that it feels out of your control. We've all been there where we've played against 5 Vanguards or 5 GAs and you lose valuable LP because of it. Now, recently, Riot Mortdog has posted a sneak peek on his Twitter.
Let's see how we do here. We took 18 damage, so we're at negative 15. And that person's at negative 4, so they're going to beat us. And that person's at negative 6, so even though they died later, they fell down, and we get 6th place. So that was a great example of how the tiebreaker system worked.
This looks pretty interesting. So what it does is it takes into account the severity of the loss rather than the timing. Overall, I think it's a great change, and it leads towards a more fair and balanced feeling competitive environment. Mort also addresses some concerns surrounding Urgot and his impact as a 5-cost unit. Now, the team feel like he's landed in a relatively balanced position in terms of power, but just not from a game feel perspective. To address this, they're looking to change the way Urgot's ult mechanic actually works, moving from the farthest away unit to the farthest in range, meaning Urgot can no longer one-shot a carry from the other side of the map without an RFC. In addition to this, they're also changing the projectile mechanic of Urgot's ult, essentially making it a more powerful version of Caitlyn's ult, meaning you can position units in between your intended target and Urgot's target. So what this means is you can have more freely positioned movement. Additions to these changes include the GA change. GA now prevents the death from the ult. A few other stat changes as well, but if you want to read a little bit more on the full post, I will leave a link in the description below. Thanks to the work from Reddit user Morbrid, we can now analyse data from over 1 million games to find out which is the strongest comp on the patch so far statistically. MetaTFT.com shows us the main outliers are Brawlers, Blasters, Cybers and Sorks. One new comp up there is actually Battlecast Blasters. I think this is probably due to the recent buffs on the last patch. Could be a sleeper comp that gets through because it is unlikely to be contested. Moving on to more useful community content, Reddit user Edswoo has created a very useful tool for hyper-rolling. The tool is designed to help you identify units faster and manage your bench space more effectively. Now, although hyper-rolling strategies have fallen out of favour in recent patches, it is still a very helpful tool to help early players learn certain units, learn how to manage their bench space more effectively, and to control gold and econ. I will leave a link down below to the website. Feel free to check it out. It is a very useful tool. So finishing off with some news on in-game rewards. First up, we have news surrounding the Set 3 and 3.5 Little Legend rewards. Due to some recent criticism, Riot have actually changed the way they're allocating this. Originally, it was 1 Little Legend for Set 3 and 3.5, assuming you got gold and above in both. This drew some controversy because some people hadn't played in the original Set 3 or hadn't managed to get to gold, so they reversed and gone back a little bit and said, well, we'll give you 2 Little Legends, 1 for Set 3 and 1 for Set 3.5, assuming you reach rank gold or above. And finally, TFT celebrates its 1-year anniversary with an in-game Pengu emote. All players that play a game during 10.14 will automatically get the emote. And that's it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. If there's any stories that you want me to cover next week, hit me up in the comments down below. I do stream on Twitch on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I will leave the link to that below as well. I hope you have a great week. Thank you.